behind and the white man is on his job to kick a nigger in the behind and let you know that he don't love you. But it's, you know, at this particular time, it's not even about that. For the simple fact, I'm quite sure that secretively in your home, you know in actuality, or you should know that you're not even a citizen. Which is very key now because the lines is drawn since September the 11th. And it wasn't really about us, but then again, it was about us, and that's what we want to focus on right now. Now, I'm going to give you the flip side of some things. I know there's a lot of information, there's a lot of stuff based on ancient knowledge, and we will get into that probably in the second part. But right now, we need to, when you're in warfare, you need to know what's going on the war front. You know, there's peacetime and there's wartime. And so you need to understand what's actually going on at this particular time on what happened on September the 11th. September the 11th, which was just about as much done by an Arab as it was done by Elmer Fudd. You see what I'm saying? And we want to get into some of that particular information, and we want to explain some things on how you can track things. The only problem here is the reason why we accept things at face value and stuff is because we have been trained to delete our files after every 3 years. When I ask you what went on in 1995, you probably don't know. You see what I'm saying? Other than some personal thing, you might have, you know, might have been some personal thing. Your grandmama died, and all you go, I remember that day. But other than that, when we talk about a world scale, we delete our files every 3 years. Every 2 years, and some of them even if we have some files when it comes to black folks. So therefore, we don't develop a pattern to see whether this cracker's lying or not. Now remember, bottom line, anything that goes down, you best believe is for world white supremacy. And the people over in doggone Iran, what's the other place where they bombing now? Afghanistan, Pakistan, ain't gonna suffer one doggone bit, but your rights gonna be taken. That's right. That's the key. You gonna be on lockdown when some Arab over there and all, they ain't gonna know what's going on. And this is happening right now, so we want to get into this particular thing because also some people say this is about race. We're gonna give you what the white boys say because the white boys had an entire intelligentsia in this country in the late 1980s, early 90s, talking about the New World Order and how they was going to doggone bring you fear and take your freedom. And we had the black scholars, like Steve Coke, the brother Dawood, and a couple of other people that spoke on this thing, I myself, but it was a lot of white scholars, you know what I'm saying? Bill Cooper, the guy, the unseen hand guy, Ralph Epperson, Unseen Hand, the New World Order. He got the book back there, The Unseen Hand. People like Jordan Maxwell, there's tons of these particular people. And so as a result, there's been a great, big intelligentsia of people who was talking about this. They gave us warning. And on schedule, the kickoff date or the catalyst for this was September the 11th. So right now, that's the big thing right now because you're going to be affected by it if you're not already, especially the state of South Carolina. Because these are some crackers that will push a law to the maximum. You know that whenever you come from Georgia, you come from North Carolina, when you cross the state of South Carolina, you better slow your behind down. That's right. You know what I'm saying? So anything from seatbelt laws to your tint on your window, you know that these white people here don't play. They will push the law to the maximum. You see what I'm saying? Anytime in 1988, the second to the poorest state in the country would take $10 million to build a jail in Conway, South Carolina. Goddamn, where the hell is Conway? I mean, I know where it is. I know where it is. It's only a couple of miles from Mullen. But I'm trying to say on a world scale, where the hell is Conway? But they built a $10 million jail. You see what I'm saying? Before people even start going to jail. And you know what time it is. You know. And this is not, and it's just not the South, because the same cracker, Strong Thurman, one of the greatest racists equal to Adolf Hitler, that can still sit in the United States Senate for all them years, let you know that it's the same America KKK. America KKK. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just the South, it's up South, West South, East South, or whatever you want to call it. Out South, it's all the same thing. Do you know that the history of the United States police officers is made from the Ku Klux Klan? How many people police officers? Any police officers? Just remember now, your history. You work for the Klan right now. You work for the Klan. Do you know, we'll go into this right quick. Do you know that the history before 1865 and right after 1865 and during the time of Reconstruction, but don't feel bad, sister, because we work for IBM, we work for Lilly Pharmaceuticals. They do all kind of things to kill black people all day long and stuff like that. So it's not just what's called, it's multiple industry that got their hand on the oppression of black people. We just understand that the police officers and that type of thing has the outward overt look of it and stuff. But there's black people right now doing all types of chemical things and stuff like that to kill black people each day. Now don't get me wrong, they don't necessarily know it. Some of them do, but some of it it's like the movie Cube. In that movie, the people was trapped in a cube and come to find out 2 or 3 people in the movie in the cube was trying to get out of the cube, had help build a cube. And when they turned to get mad with each other, they said, well, he said, I didn't know what I was building. Because that's the way they do. One person builds one piece, one person builds another piece, another person builds another piece, and then when they put it all together, it might be a monster in a machine that you might have your hand in. And that's how America does. You build certain pieces, and you can't put it together that it's a piece that's for your own destruction. But I just want to say that particular thing here, based on the history of the police force in America, because it was only during the Reconstruction that the police force, Reconstruction after the Civil War, that the police force became the police force that you know now. Prior to that, you had deputies, sheriffs, and when some shit went down, you got your posses up. And this was the order on the majority of the continental United States. They had few police force copying the Barbies and all those types of things from England up north. But for the most part, the police force was basically deputies, sheriffs, or marshals and deputies. And when some stuff went down, you had the citizens arrest where you come together and get the posse together. It was only after the Scottish Rite Freemasonry with Albert Pike joined with Rene Briff, which is your Jewish Anti-Defamation League, that they came together, because the Anti-Defamation League was in actuality slaveholders from Charleston, South Carolina that didn't want to give up slaves. So they figured the anti-defamation was that their way of life was under attack by the Union. You see what I'm saying? By the North. So therefore they came together and formed the Anti-Defamation League. And then after the Anti-Defamation League, they got together with Albert Pike, which is the head of the Scottish Rite Freemasonry, and from there they formed the Ku Klux Klan, the Knights of the Ku Klux Klan, which was an advance order. The Night Riders that you see, I got a tape called The History of the KKK. The Night Riders that you see is a different thing. That's the people you see, the ignorant people. So you think that the Klan is chewing the back of people, and even the government tell you, oh, those people are just ignorant. You know, those people are just ignorant and all this type of stuff here. But my point here is, well, what constitutes for the mass murder and mayhem on black people in Africa and around the world, you see what I'm saying, by the British, the French, the Dutch, and anybody else and stuff like this and all. So this whole concept that if you don't have an education is the reason why you're racist is ludicrous. You see what I'm saying? Because they got people right now, this chemist has got diabolical plans, you see what I'm saying, and had diabolical plans to kill off the people. Ignorant people ain't never been able to do that much, but get mad. So don't let nobody fool you. The people that scheme against you are advanced individuals in suits and ties. So the key here is we're talking about an advance order of the Ku Klux Klan. And what happened was that they came together as an advance order. And these are your major bankers and business people you have now. This is just the southern jurisdiction of it. The problem here is whenever they wanted to have some people to police the mass amount of black people that was in the South, then the Ku Klux Klan went out and freelanced and got the rebel rousers, or they got the so-called ignorant whites as the foot soldier, as the strong arm to go burn down some stuff, while there was an elite people sitting up calling the shots. You see, calling the shots. And so, as a result of that, the same fraternal order of the Ku Klux Klan became the fraternal order of the uniformed portion later on as your United States police officers. They had to, at a certain point, they could do the Night Rider thing. That was kind of flamboyant. So in order to really do it, the Night Rider was the orientation. That was the people that came in and did this thing and cracked people's heads to try to find out the temperament of black people on how they was going to police them. And once they got the science down, they developed it into a uniform organization, as you know, as the police officers. That's why it's called the fraternal order of police. Well, what is the fraternal order? You have to go and study the history. There was even a show that came on back in 1996 with Mario Van People called Illegal in Blue. And it was talking to these people killing up black people. When they traced the order, it was a subculture or a sub-organization up under the police officers, which was a Klan, skinhead type group of people. So now, these people now, when you go to look, it's not going to be some chewing tobacco people. These are going to be continental, rich bankers and the whole power elite that runs America. It's the same fraternal order of the Ku Klux Klan. It's just that you grin in their face and every day and think that they're all right. The problem here is that they have the ability to grin in your face, even invite you to their house. But when it comes to getting orders down, getting their business down, it's a whole other thing. In that case, you say it's all, we all free. Well, I want to know why is it you can't get up in their lodges. Everything is integrated. They never integrated the lodges. You say, I'm a Mason and all. You can't get up in them crackers lodges. They got one or two little people. You know, a lodge is like a pyramid. And a pyramid means you can have some little people on the bottom, but as you go up, it gets more elite. That's a few people. So the people who run our lives in America, period, is not the American government. It's a few people sitting in a room. And that's what we got to focus on today, because there's some stuff that's going down with this particular bombing. So right now we're in the trenches. So this is not a theology on whether you're going to give us something. I don't hear that Muslim stuff. I don't want to hear this. I just believe in the Lord and all this kind of thing. This is beyond that. Because they will give you Jesus and slit your throat. That's called thank you, Lord, and pass the damn ammunition. See what I'm saying? And they're going to do it under the guise of religion. Number one key to the doggone world rulers, give them the religion. It has killed millions of people and will work for us today. Now, going back, you had a new uniformed people that learned how to police black people under the underground movement of the Ku Klux Klan. Then they became uniformed. Then after that, you remember, they spread across the country. As a matter of fact, in the night after World War II, they had a major influx of black people going to California after World War II, because they went out there with all the factories and stuff. And then you know how it is when the white man came home, the black people they pushed out, and they worked side by side with white women. Then they pushed them out, and then after they pushed them out, the white men came back to work. And you had these thousands and thousands of black people out in the Los Angeles and the California area and out west. But these people who was out west, they were alien to black people out there because it wasn't part of the culture. They didn't know what to do. So the United States government dispatched the southern jurisdiction of the Ku Klux Klan out to Los Angeles in post-World War II to train them how to hold down Negroes. Now this thing is more advanced now. The problem here is the reason why you don't think it's racism because the technology is advanced now. You see what I'm saying? It's advanced now. And you say, no, I know good people. You don't understand something about world rulers. And we say this. You say, well, I know people, they're trying to be peace and harmony and all this, and they've been telling you, oh, we all one united family. Well, I want to know this now. Because they're running this bullshit on me now about America came together. Now, wait a minute. Correct me if I'm wrong. I know some black people. I met a black woman yesterday in Atlanta, didn't have no heat and no lights. And yet I know same people in the town living on glass floors. Floors get dirty, they buy a new damn house. So they don't come in together. Freedom is based on how much cash you got in the capitalistic society. That's what freedom is. So we need to get probed into this particular information. But anyway, we're talking about advanced elite order, and because they have become elite, or they become more advanced, you can't keep up with the racism. That's why they got 75,000 people of Africans a month dying on the continent and calling it AIDS. 75,000 a month. Do the math. They're gonna in South Africa alone, they're gonna kill 75,000 people at the end of the year. That's in one area, but there's 75,000 people a month dying with AIDS, quote-unquote AIDS, biological warfare. Yes, you got some of the biggest freaks ever in Europe. Know what I'm saying? In Europe. Biggest freaks ever. And yet ain't no AIDS.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? So you know that in actuality, but then again, on the other hand, if you never challenge what they tell you on the news, how would you know? How would you know? And that's what they did with us as so-called upward mobile. Turn that cartoon off. I need to turn to the news. So all of a sudden you started thinking, because I'm educated, that I'm a person that look at world news. Or if I'm educated, I need to look at the newspaper. Now my ex-girlfriend that kicked me to the curb last spring happened to work for Atlanta Journal-Constitution, which is one of the biggest papers in the country. There are about 5 or 6 papers, TV stations around the country. You know, they have a meeting. She's not in on it, but she knows based on being in the system that they have a meeting every day. And they line out, this is the consensus of the country. And anything outside of the country, anything that comes off that and is not a part of that AP wire, that's not a consensus, you better not put it in the newspaper. So this whole thing, I'm going to bring it to the paper. That's bull. That's a joke. They got a section called the vents, where they got all this information coming in, all from Atlanta, all from Georgia. They got a person sitting there, and all they do is just write the stuff down. They throw half of it away, or they give it to the people to find out information, but it never makes the paper. So this whole concept that you got a free press is bullshit. You see what I'm saying? So we're talking about mind control. This mind control. So the problem here is, if you think racism don't exist, just because you ain't studied it in the last doggone 30 years, because it's not overt. And it's going to another level. This man is somewhere in 2050 with the technology. And you somewhere in 1970 talking about voting and all kind of crazy shit.
That's right.